welcome once again to M Cubed. I am Brian, the Motley Mix Merchant. Thank you very much for dropping by. Long time no see. Good to see you, my friends. Hope everybody is keeping well as we are halfway through the month of October and well into the last quarter. Unfortunately, have not kept up the momentum from September. My busiest month ever was September, and right now my October numbers are about average, one per day. It's the 16th as I'm taping this, and I've sold 16 items as of right now. So back down to normal for some reason. I wonder if Prime Days this past week really had something to do with it, but we'll see. I just keep listing. I'm up to 655, something like that, in the store right now. And I keep picking up things because I want to try and get some new stuff into the store. But I've been spending most of the last 2 weeks since I saw you last listing the things that I've already got at home. But then I went out for a little bit of a thrifting ride, and I've picked up a few things on auctions. And that's what I wanted to show you today. A little bit of my online auction haul and one item that I got at the Goodwill. But I thought I'd give you that, and then I'll do a What Sold episode in the coming few days. And then I am going to get to the episode I promised about how to start to finish, take part in an online auction. So I'm coming. It's coming. I promise. It's coming. All right. So let's start off. I just have a few things, maybe 7 or so things to show you of the kind of things that I'm still selling and that are selling for me. And so I pick them up for a good price when I can. And starting off with good old faithful plushes. You know, I love my plushes. This is a Mickey Mouse 45th Disneyland Anniversary edition. So it's a little older. I picked it up for... No, this was in an online auction. Actually, I thought this was going to be the one from the Goodwill, but I just remembered I got this with a lot of 5 other stuffed animals for a total of $3. There's a Mickey, there's a large Garfield dressed like a Mexican gaucho, and there's a Taco Bell dog and some other ones. So all told, 75 cents a piece. So Mickey's going to sell in the $15 range. He's not super desirable because he's a little older and he doesn't have tags and that kind of thing, but he'll still sell because he's actually from Disneyland. So that's a good plush pickup. And I'm just sticking with the plushes. Haven't sold any for a couple of weeks, but they're obviously a good seller for me, and I'm going to just keep getting the good ones when I can get them for a good price. That's the way you do it, right? Especially in this mode of resale that I do. All right, this is interesting. This is from an auction lot that I picked up a few weeks ago. You can hear the metal on metal. Sorry about that. But look at these. If you've been to the dentist lately, you recognize these. These are, I gotta get a hold of them. How can I hold them? There we go, so you can see what they are. Here we go. Does that bring fear to everybody's heart? These are dental hygienist tools. They were in the bottom of a box that I picked up at auction about 3 weeks ago. And I couldn't figure out why would a person have these, unless they, of course, were a dental hygienist. But then I knew that this was from an estate, and I couldn't figure it out. But then I saw some other pieces that were in the box. The person used these as clay modeling tools for putting lines and forming figures when they were modeling pottery and sculptures with clay. So these are in still almost new condition. So I'm selling them as dental hygienist tools because they're worth a little bit of money. These two right here, Brasseler USA. These two alone are worth $20 combined. And then the other 5 or 4, whatever I've dropped, I don't know, they're worth about another $25 to $30 combined for the 5 of them. So good $45 or so worth of dental hygienist tools that were just in the bottom of one of my boxes. And it's a kind of thing that I'll look it up anyhow. You know, you find something in a box lot and you just say, I wonder what that is. Maybe it's worth some money. And sure enough, it's worth a little bit of money. I'll take it. $20 to $25 for something that probably cost me less than $1 at auction. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, a little bit of information and education here if anybody is looking for some of that coming to my channel these days. I received in one of the last auctions, the same auction that I got the dental hygienist tools in, there was a bunch of clear glassware. Now, clear glassware is usually verboten. I hate it. It never sells unless it's really good crystal. But this stuff actually has a little bit of a following. And let me show it to you. You can see the design on that. Anybody know what that design is from? What's the company? I'll give you 2 seconds while I'm turning it here to think about what company is that if you know glassware at all. Do you know? It's Princess House. This is the heritage pattern for Princess House glassware. Now there was this covered sugar bowl, a creamer, another small covered, looked like a honey bowl almost, with a small spoon in it. So some kind of bowl for jams and that kind of thing. And then there is a beautiful skinny tall bud vase as well. So all 4 of those pieces were included in one of the tables that I picked up at auction, and they actually sell for a pretty good price. The bud vase itself is worth about $15 to $20. I put everything together in one big lot because Princess House collectors will collect everything Princess House. I've got it on the website right now for $45 US, and it's getting quite a lot of views and attention. So I think that was a good move to put them all together in one big lot, and we'll see how soon they sell. But Princess House, my significant other had somebody who was into selling that at one point years and years ago, and I checked on eBay, and it still sells very well on eBay. So I got lucky with that pickup as well. And now all the pieces have that, I think it's called a cornflower on the heritage design there. And so Princess House does sell. And if you see that kind of cornflower design, that's Princess House for sure. Now I mentioned that clear glass doesn't do very well, never has for me, and I'm going to be rich if it ever does come back in style because I have tons of it, because it's like half a table and then the other half is the stuff I want, but you have to get everything on the table. So I've got lots of clear glass if anybody wants them. But there's also these kinds of things, and it is a beautiful crystal covered trinket dish box, I guess would be, but I don't think it's trinket. I actually think it's a sugar bowl. As you can see, it's got the area right there for the spoon. So I think this is a square sugar bowl. It is by a German company, 24% lead crystal. So I still like getting the lead crystal. Lead crystal, when it's very nice stuff, sells. And I've got a few pieces of it. This was in the last auction lot. And, you know, it's hit and miss. Sometimes a certain name will go better for a little while, and then other times it's a certain pattern. Pinwheel crystal. I've got tons of pinwheel crystal, and it's getting a lot of attention, but not selling right now. But we'll see what happens. I like crystal stuff. A lot of people do. It still sells. But clear glass, forget it. Okay, what's next? Oh, let me show you this. If you're a follower of this channel at all, and I invite you to become a subscriber down below. And before I show you this item, I need to shout out to all my subscribers. We have reached the magic number of 200 subscribers for the Motley Mix Merchant channel. I thank every single one of you who has clicked that button down below. I invite you to click that button if you are not yet a subscriber and join our growing community. That was my goal for the end of 2020, was 200 subscribers. So we reached that exactly on the 14th of October. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm very, very humbled by the people that are following along to try and get any information that I am able to give and put up with all my stupid jokes and one-liners and that kind of thing. So thank you very much for being a part of this Triple M community. I appreciate it. If you are a follower or a subscriber for a very long time, you know I love my Blue Mountain pottery. Well, I almost squealed out loud in delight yesterday at the Goodwill. This is the one that was from the Goodwill. That's right. Look at this beauty. This is classic green and black. Some people say blue and black. Maybe it's because I'm colorblind, but that looks green and black to me. It is a beautiful tulip style planter / vase. It is 7.5 inches tall. It is a fairly hard to find pattern for Blue Mountain pottery. It is absolutely positively Blue Mountain pottery because there is the logo with the 3 evergreen trees on the bottom. That is the logo for Blue Mountain pottery, one of them. If it doesn't actually say BMP on it, that's the logo with the 3 trees. Sometimes the 3 trees have a BMP inside them. But you know I love my Blue Mountain. If I had more room in my house to display some Blue Mountain pottery, I would probably keep this for myself. I don't have any room. There's really no room for anything in this house right now. But I paid up for this a little bit. It was $10 at the Goodwill, which is a pretty good price. If you were getting this for yourself, that's a pretty good price, because right now I've got this for sale at $30 US in the eBay store. And that's on the cheap side. One of these sold for $60 US a couple of months ago. I'm not really sure about their description and their title. I think they really embellished things a little bit. But if somebody buys it and doesn't complain and doesn't send it back, then you've made your money. But I think this is worth about $30 US. I got it for $10 Canadian, which is about $7.50 US right now. So I'm super, super happy. They had some other stuff. They had an ashtray, but they were asking $6 and it only sold for about $15. So I passed on that for the time being. If it's there maybe tomorrow, I'll pick it up if I go down. But I love my Blue Mountain pottery. If you see this style, or if you see it in a orange glaze or gold or red, and you have the chance, and if it's a good price, pick it up, because it still sells. People are still interested in this stuff, beautiful stuff from the central Ontario region of Canada, and I love it. And this is in gorgeous shape. There's not a single chip at all, no glazed chips on any of the points or on the top or anything like that. So it is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of Blue Mountain pottery. And I'm hoping it goes out the door fairly quickly. And I just hit the microphone with the pot. I'm sorry. Every episode, it's something hitting the microphone, or it's clanging dishes together right in front of the microphone, or it's just to keep you on your toes. Really. Okay, I got to show you this. This is beautiful. And I got this in a online auction from the auction house that I used to work at. I am no longer employed at the auction house. Things slowed down there a little bit. There are other people who would probably need the hours more than I do. So I have volunteered at this time to not work until they get super, super busy again. So I'm still on payroll technically, but I'm not working any hours. But it's still my auction house where I buy most of my stuff. But isn't that gorgeous? This is Victoria China from Czechoslovakia, which is a very well-desired porcelain maker. Beautiful stuff. This is the only bowl that I could find that has this design on it with the Asian females there. Geishas, I guess it would be. Almost the same kind as some of the Japanese stuff that you see around. So I haven't been able to find a comp for this exact bowl, but bowls this size, and as you can see, you know, it's one of my favorite words, the reticulated edges, where you can see through the cut through, that is called reticulated edge on porcelain and or metal or whatever. I think, I haven't listed this yet. I'm just about to tonight actually. I think this is going to be about a $25 bowl, because this Victoria China from Czechoslovakia, it goes for a pretty good price. And so I'm going to make sure I price this accordingly with the other bowls. I think even though it's got a fairly unique design on it, I don't think it makes it that much more special than any of the other bowls from Victoria China. So I'm probably going to price it in the same range as the other bowls. And if I recall, they were about $25 each. So we'll see how that goes when I list that later tonight. I'm trying to list between 5 and 10 items per day, and I've been successful at that for a good 3 to 4 weeks now, especially now that I am not working and strictly at home doing stuff. As I say, October has slowed down a bit, but I'm still getting the views, still getting the action on the items. And so I'm hoping that now that Prime Days and Prime Week is over, that things will start to pick up again for a lot of us on eBay, because I see a lot of people in the Facebook groups talking about how things have slowed down for them in the past 7 days at least. So hopefully here it will pick up in the very near future. All right, last but not least, and before I do, just a request to hit that like button down below. If you would, please. I always forget to do that. And I can actually see the videos where I have forgotten to ask you to hit the like button, because there's a lot less likes on them for the number of views that we get. So if you are receiving any kind of information that is useful to you from this episode, please hit the like button so that it gets recommended by the YouTube algorithm to other people who are looking for this kind of content. Last but not least, I've had this actually for a while, and it was up on the top of a china cabinet actually, and I didn't even take a second look at it until I was going through things, and I've been picking stuff out of my shelving units that I know have not been listed, and I've been listing them and that kind of thing because I haven't been picking up a large quantity of stuff lately. I've been cleaning out the things that I already have in my house. But then I looked at this. Isn't this interesting? It looks like a peacock's tail, first of all. And that's one of the ways I've described it in my listing. Peacock tail design. It is a note or photograph holder. So you slide your notes or photographs into the loops that are made there. But this is a unique one because most of them only have 2 levels of loops. This one has 3 large levels, 15 of those holders in total. Not one of them is missing. It's bendable wire, so you can make it go as far wide as you want or put them all together or whatever. Stop. And it sells for about $25 US. I thought it was just a little metal piece, wouldn't sell for much, but it's vintage. People like them. They think they're neat, especially coming up on Christmas. People put Christmas cards in there if they receive physical Christmas cards from people. So that was something that's just been sitting on top of a china cabinet in my house for about 8 months or so. And I finally decided to list it, and it's getting quite a lot of views, and I got an offer within 5 hours of listing it, but it was a low ball and they didn't want to meet up with my counter offer. So we'll see how it goes. So that's the kind of stuff I'm still finding, and I'm still buying things at auction. Haven't done a live auction for about 3 weeks now. Missed one yesterday, sort of on purpose. Really had no interest in going because I'm finding a lot of stuff in my house that I have not listed yet that I need to get on my eBay store. Oh, you know what? We're not done. I've got one more for you. And I'm going to shove over a little bit because I'm only going to show you pictures. I have this that I picked up at auction 2 weeks ago. If you are a member of PETA, the animal rights group, you may want to say goodbye to the rest of this episode because this is an item that PETA really doesn't like. Does anybody know what that is? It's hard to tell just from pictures probably. But this is a cattle and bull dehorner. The handle's open and it creates a guillotine type opening at the bottom of the contraption there. And then when you put the handles together, it slices down. And I guess they use it for cutting off the horns on cattle. I got that for $30 Canadian at auction. And the only reason I paid up for it was because I saw the comps on eBay. As big and as cast iron heavy as that thing is, it's going to cost probably $60 or so to ship anywhere in North America. It still will probably sell in the $100 to $150 range US because it's a good collector piece and people use it for decoration. I think there's more humane ways of doing that now. And I'm pretty sure it's not widely used anymore for the intent that it had back in the day, 60, 70 years ago. But it is definitely a great piece of farmhouse style decor and people love them. And they sell at about a 50% sell-through rate. So that means if you put up 100 items, all 100 items should sell within 2 months. 50 of them will sell every month out of the 100 that are posted. So I've got mine up there now. I think I'm asking exactly $100 for it because it's a little older. It's not one of the name brand ones that I could find. So I'm asking $100 plus, I think I put $55 US for the shipping. And again, I paid $30 Canadian total for it. So if I get it anywhere near the asking price, I will be making a pretty good profit on that one. So that was an auction find, and it's just one of those things. You do your research, and if you find something that's worth enough money for resale, you pay up a little bit for it, and hopefully it works out in the end. So we shall see. I will let you know on a future What's Sold episode, which is going to be my next episode, and that will be coming up in the next 4 or 5 days. Going to try and make episodes a little closer together now that things are settled here in the house with what I'm doing for employment and all this kind of things. I should be able to do a more frequent episode for you here on the M Cubed channel. So thank you very much for dropping by. I wish everybody all the best with your thrifting and reselling, and please stay safe when you're heading to the stores. Wear your mask. As I always say, it's the least we can do to try and stay safe and keep others safe as well. Thanks for dropping by. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to follow along all the time with my Canadian eBay reseller antics, and I will see you again very soon right here for another episode of M Cubed. Bye for now, everybody. Cheers.